at Pacific Plate Brewing Company. Well, when you watch this video, it will not be live. It's because I'm pre-recording it. I've seen a lot of small presses and other literary journals announce who they chose for Best of the Net, which is an award ceremony for the indie writing scene. Um, I decided a few days ago to put lit the best of the best for Lit Stack for Best of the Net, which is co-run which Best of the Net is co-run by Sundress Publications, which is a pretty known press in the local indie writing scene here in Southern California. And Cinnamon Roll and I made our decisions based on what Substack said about what is considered what is the top posts based on the most views between fitting the criteria for Best of the Net from our inception in March until June 30th is what they wanted. So the first person that is nominated for Best of the Net 2024 is going to be, as soon as I pull up their poem on Let's Stack, because what I'm going to do is read read the piece. Give me 1 second here. Please bear with me here. I don't really come to a Pacific Plate here too often. It's a neat spot. It really is. The inside looks nice, slightly gothic, which gives me the vibes of like the motifs of like what Jonathan Santa Maria goes for. Okay, so the first person is Adam D. Martinez, aka Adam et al., anti-social media. And here's the prose poem. I fetch my news on social media feeds. It hurts me like a cattle nine tail sticking into my muzzle, so I bury it deep in the closet of clean towels. I am obedient. Still, I want to spit in the face of privilege. I want to be a spitting image of virtual signaling as I merge into oncoming traffic and collide with Elon Musketeers and diesel Trump truckers somewhere in Southern California where they say we live in a bubble. Bursting like a Disneyland firework display, I steer clear of the wreckage that is the latest trending hashtag. Yet I can't help myself from reaching back in to feel the weight of the world in the palm of my sweaty hand. All right, there. Second person that has been nominated by Simon Roland I is going to be, let's see here. Hector, son of Hector, Los Angeles en su voz. 1. Her father's mother brings him here, tears him from his pueblo in Michoacan. South LA raises him, teaches him English, introduces him to a Guatemalan woman. Their daughter becomes my wife. When I meet him, his breath smells of the smoke he inhaled during the fires, the burning building of his business. 2. She's got the eyes and cheekbones of Olmec stoneheads, daughter of Birapecha and Mayan kingdoms, lips like early morning flower petals, hands which never lose their warmth, skin that catches color from the sun. She lived her childhood between rows of cared for lawns on single family homes and blocks on dilapidated Section 8 apartments near the fires and gunshots, liquor stores and churches, the neighborhood never hers. Speech borrowed from migration patterns of the city. Nueva España settlers, 8 mulattoes and 9 indios, black southerners, white Middle East Midwesterners, ESL Chicanos and Central Americans, their mano de obra oscillating through time. 3. She never reads Python or Wanda Coleman to feel the riot. She just listens and watches housing prices rise, waiting for the fall. All right, there. We're gonna go on to the next nominee here, and that next individual is Ivan Salinas, the Mota Blues. One, Pachuco stroll cool and all from Pachuca. So says El Mito de Mota. Crossover in zoot suits. Got their chivas y órale. La Revolución también, after working for the gringo and Cane, Canay, Canaya, they crack up at the news of another lynching. Those gringos y ese Porfirio, seriously need to chill. Mambo loving hip spread seeds all over the fields. A green jazz that dream carnal, picking fruit in some rusty field, making the big bucks for our camachos. The gringos will tell you we only bought poison, pura mala hierba, satanic music like corridos, and swing sounds like a good time to me. Two, what do they do with my name jailed in a square? Piling up my cash and credit they'll use to track me down. The government has documented my addiction. They always know my junky alien ass whereabouts to the bone. Thanks to la pinche dispensaria, every time I go in, it is $1 more expensive. Bartender said, in Colorado, we trim the buzz differently. We ain't got Mexicans cutting our weeds. I said, did you know Mexicans crave the smoke of burning cities? 100 years later, wake up with mota banned by white people. Wake up with mota enjoyed by guerritos. Ma- Makusin Telapulti. Excuse me there. You're trying to displace my subconscious gentrify mi onda. Yesterday, I saw a ganjapreneur walking around Silver Lake, sipping double espresso, dreaming of another startup. Yerba mala nunca muere. Mama Pera once said, Yerba mala fucks with vapes, sweet colonized mota. That much I know. Three. It's summer again, and I'm solito, rolling myself into a blunt to sing my mota blues in my backyard, always rebelling against the seasons. Every few months, weeds will go. Smoke up my paycheck, kickstarted Chicanec's own dispensary, infused tamales, and cafecito verde courtesy of the UFCW. Time expands, time slows, almost stands still. Where's the bud at? I want to conjure up monstrous extravaganzas. All right, there. And hey, Leo.
What's up, man? Get it, Jesse.
Yeah, let's see here. All right, next person that has been nominated by Cinnamon Roll and I is going to be Jennifer Baptiste, Light Lover. Twilight on my hips, fingers tipped and sparkling, dancing across skin. Light rays, light shimmers, light splendors. Moonlight on the crest of my back, legs entangled and luminescent, gripped and glimmering. Light twinkling, light glaring, light bursting. Sunrise in my eyes, lips starlit and shining, connected and skin scintillating. Light bringer, light worker, lift flower for my light lover. All right, next person that has been nominated is Jonathan Humanoid. This isn't the apocalypse I was promised. Kendall Jenner is wandering the wasteland for Pepsi. She makes 1.5 million for every selfie she takes with the Pepsi logo fully dispensed amidst protests of the struggling class fighting for livable wages. The people have started cursing their enemies with her presence. Packs of dude bros stalk the land between Walmart, Target, and GNC. They hoard protein powder, call each other Beta, and quote Joe Rogan loudly and all at once. If there were laws, I wish this shit could be made illegal. The fiction in science fiction is no longer a thing. To be fair, the science part of it is also no longer a thing. Reason was first thing to go, then anything resembling a law, and none of the wasteland gangs that formed will accept me. The trending shift towards cannibalism was met with far less criticism than the trend of veganism. Years of time spent in social media comments had already skewed some folks' ability to value human life. This is not the apocalypse that I was promised. We are all too sober for this shit. Way more people fought to prevent the legalization of drugs than fought for better mental health care. There's nothing to take the edge off, and so many of us are too sharp for this world. There's always a renaissance, always progress, always art that captures humanity at its best. After humanity has seen itself at its worst, look what we have rebuilt from the rubble. Look at what we have learned from all this destruction. My best friend was a teacher dealing with parents and school boards that didn't have her best interests. Now she's killing zombies. Either way, she's fighting people with no brains in a life and death situation. My finger still hovers of the names of people I haven't spoken to in years. I don't send to text that play on replay in my head. I have no idea if I even have service anymore. Honestly, I can request a telepathic link, but the regrets of time passing tick like a clock in a quiet room. We still measure the worth of folks by the soil of the place they called home, stuck beneath fingernails that clawed and the sun-blessed skin carried by weary bones that are just bones only after we remove the skin when they are dead. And so they will teach their children. When the radiation from the bombs gives you the ability to move shit with your mind, try to keep it together, even if your world is tearing apart. Depending on where you're from, you will be brave, a hero. The world's thoughts and prayers are with you, or they will see you dangerous, a weapon, a place. The world sees as battleground. You are not owed the same liberation. If you use your thoughts to hurl that tank into the face of your oppressors, it will validate the people who need you to be a savage. You don't get to be the main character of the series if it takes so long to color you. We only stand for some. We build chairs of the bones of those we sat through the deaths of to make it more comfortable for us. Nothing changed when it still could have. War is the only constant. Love could have changed all of this, but that sounded too simple, and war became so normal that we forgot what compassion was. Love was the answer if only we hadn't been convinced. We misunderstood the problem. Love is our only currency, and too many of us are still broke. All right, next person that has been nominated by Litstack is okay. I need to hurry up here. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Adam, Hector, Yvonne, Jennifer, Jonathan. Um, there's one more. There's one more. I know there's one more. I'm trying to think. Let's see. Okay. Next person that got nominated by Cinnamon Roll and I is Maestro Gammon. You haven't paid for a title. I don't have anything to sell, but mostly because I'm not trying to. I don't perform anymore, but mostly because I wanted to save my breath in case I needed it later. Eventually, I pop up forlorn, needing the ceremony, but not much more. Maybe drinks after. All right. Since the battery on my laptop that I'm recording this is about to die, I'm gonna see how much I can read of this one right here. And it's the last nomination from Let's Stack, and this is Brenda Vaca, Turquoise Trail, and this is a nonfiction piece. I could feel God working through me. God's tentacles moving through my bloodstream as we drove through the Sangre de Cristo mountains in northern New Mexico. I had brought my collar with me, a thing so heavy it almost made me sick to see. The last year and a half, it had lived in a box among work, art gear, and swimsuits in my father's garage in Whittier. Although I couldn't remember what box I had packed it in, it migrated from box to box more than once throughout its journey to Whittier from San Jose. It was easy to find in the 10 minutes I had to find it before my brother took me to LAX in time for my trip to Albuquerque. If you can't find it, we can make something out of paper and burn it, Chewy had texted. I didn't want that. I wanted to find that thing and leave it behind. More than anything else, the collar was the heaviest thing to carry. It had become like chains around my neck. Are you dressed in drag? A young woman just a bit younger than me had asked me in the early 2000s in San Francisco during an immigrant rights march. No, I replied. I'm a pastor. How do you explain pastorhood as a Chicana from Whittier to a Chicana in San Francisco that has never seen such a thing? Because isn't it strange to see the thing that is usually swaddled around a man's neck, freshly shaved, or beard pushing through thick skin, around the fine and soft rolls of a woman's smooth brown neck? What the hell is a pastor? I was never any good at it. Although I can probably find some folks who review my decade plus qualifications and say otherwise. Somehow, over the years, people had grown to love me as Pastor Brenda. I was never short on love. Love found a way into my life for certain. the holy saw fit to surround me with good people over the years of my life. So much so that I was often surprised to find vipers among the reeds of lovers. It was a hurt I never anticipated. It was a hurt that I was ill prepared to handle and had never acquired amor to guard my heart. Collar. You still have my collar. I mean, you still have your collar. You gotta get rid of that thing, Chui exclaimed. Can I just let it go out the window? Somehow hoping I could just let it fly as we drove 70 miles per hour down the turquoise trail from Madrid to Albuquerque. If you want, Chui said, always a supportive friend, always the one willing to let things unroll just the way they're gonna unroll, not asking too many questions, not pressuring. Just then spirit guides, Cuervos this time, dipped down in the immediate distance, ink black against a bright blue sky, dramatic in the way they flew, cottony white clouds billowing close to the mountains. Further out, great clouds streaked down upon the horizon beyond Albuquerque. Here! The spirit guides are here. This is the place, I said, certain I was ready to give up the ghost of my ordination. They're showing off, Chewie replied. Here's a cutout. Exactly at the spot where the three cuervos, with their wide ink-stained wingspans, were landing among the trees and cactus of that mountainside overlooking the Albuquerque Valley. Ooh.